Hey there, toy collector friends and Marvel fans alike, but not just Marvel fans, Transformers fans as well, Doctor Who fans as well. I'm back. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and here on my channel today we're looking at what would arguably be one of my Holy Grails. This is a Marvel Legends figure, as you can see, of Death's Head. Now, there's been a few figures of Death's Head in the past that I'm aware of. I wasn't aware of them until I did some digging. They are... some look better than others, I'll be honest. And I did sort of follow a couple on eBay for a little while just to see how that was looking. But some of the prices are a little bit silly. And then we had a notification that this figure was being released in the Marvel's Legends collection. And I was like, okay, this one I'm going to get. And it's an import, and it's been an absolute nightmare. I didn't know if it was ever going to arrive, and it finally did. But let's take a quick look at the old packaging. So Death's Head, nice and large there. Plastic window, which is giving you some glare, apologies, but we can see the main event pretty much inside there. Marvel Legends, superheroes. Well, I wouldn't call him a superhero. I also wouldn't call him a bounty hunter because I know too well. There's some artwork here on the side of Death's Head as he appeared in Marvel Comics. I first became aware of the character of Death's Head in the Transformers comics, which is where I believe he first appeared. Got a nice Death's Head logo on the top there. It's just words and MacGuffins on the back. On the bottom, sorry, and then the rear we have like a tech specs, which is, you know, nice, powerful tech specs. Bit of information about him, and this nice little section here. Did you know Death's Head actually owns a pet vulture? Well, I didn't know, and that just strikes me as utterly bizarre. Anyway. I'm going to crack him out of the box so we can have a look at him. But as I say, yeah, I first became aware of the character Death's Head in some of the time travel-y Marvel Comics Transformers storylines. Legacy of Unicron, for example, that kind of stuff. I really loved the character, and was, of course, back in the 80s, it's one of those characters that turn up in comic media for whom there are no toys. Straxus, for example. To name but one other. And so to finally get one of these in hand and in a box and looking as good as this seems to look through the packaging itself is truly phenomenal. He does come with some accessories, as you'd expect from a Hasbro figure, so I'm going to crack him out. While I'm doing that, thanks for joining me today. If you could possibly like the video, that would be wonderful. And whilst you're there, if you could do a quick subscription, that would also be wonderful, because I'm really keen to get to my next subscriber milestone. I set these for myself. It's not a monetized channel, and it's just nice to grow the follower base, really. So feel free to like, share, etc. the video. But yeah, if you could hit subscribe, that would be phenomenal. And then you get a chance to also see what other gems may crop up that I get a chance to look at over the next few weeks and months and even years. Anyway, I'm going to use the magic of YouTube to get Death's Head out of the package immediately. So please, whatever you do, don't touch that dial. And here we are, back with Death's Head out of the package as promised. And actually, this is an absolutely awesome figure. I have to say, he is a phenomenal figure. He even comes with this cute little diorama, much like you see in some of the Transformers Studio Series sets, which I don't know if I'll use it, but I do like the fact that it's there for the purposes of this video. I think that's really cool. Let's take him in hand so we can get a really decent look at this sculpt. He's fully articulated, as you would expect a Legends figure to be. He does have quite the presence. Now, his articulation, I'll just sort of do a little pose for him there. He's got articulated arms. You can see elbows, biceps. There's a butterfly. The neck is there. There's not an awful lot of up and down, but you've got some good sides. I can't really get any tilt, which is a shame. I've put his axe in his hand. You can see there he does also have, it's not really well, it is an abs crunch of sorts. It clicks down there so he can peer down at the puny people around him, and pop that back up again. He's quite stiff. I mean, a lot of his outfit is sort of nicely moulded, rubberized plastic, I would suggest. We do have some good, decent figure articulation, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Really, this is about showing you what you're getting. He has a lovely cape, which actually is oddly reminiscent of like a Superman cape, except it's a bit tatty around the edges. And it's not in, it is molded, so even though it's pliable, as you can see here, it is molded into this shape, so it gives it a real good sense of whooshy presence. I'm gonna pop him down because I'm going to show you. Please now continue to stand up, Death's Head. I haven't taken all of the accessories out of the tray. You can see he comes with alternate hands there. These are closed fist hands, as opposed to the more dynamic open fist, which we can use to hold weapons, and the splayed fingers, which I think are very, very nice. There's a mace. There's what looks like a torpedo, and the other item is his shield, which again is something that I'm familiar with from the comics, so I have taken that out. The shield also has this feature where there are 3 clips. I haven't done it yet, but my belief, because I want to leave those accessories somewhere safe, but I believe that those clips will actually facilitate the accessories being stored in there around the shield, and then you can plug the shield into this hole on his back. So technically, let's just do that for aesthetic purposes. What you'd have, if I'm doing this right, because I've looked for instructions and I can't find any, he'd have all 3 of his accessories available to him on his back, along with the shield, all stored on the figure. And we do know that weapon storage is a much sought after feature on pretty much all sorts of figures, but certainly I can appreciate why someone like Death's Head would want to have that kind of access. Yeah, just need to get him balanced right, unfortunately. I don't think it helps that I'm standing impartially on the card, which we shall sort out shortly. I did think it might be useful, just because whilst, again, he did also appear in a Doctor Who comic strip with the 7th Doctor back in the 80s, as I recall, in a crossover. I can't remember what it was called, but perhaps somebody would be kind enough to let me know down in the comments. But I have also brought in, or kept around, Studio, and I might move out slightly for the purposes of this, just so you can see for comparative purposes. We've got, I'll just tilt this down a bit because I'm going to take him off that stand so that we can do this. So let's get rid of this little diorama as well, because it's not super helpful at the moment. Right, so let's move him there, and we can have let's try and angle Death's Head's feet so that we can have him standing up. And I will, that's the other tray, drop this down slightly, but for figure size comparisons, you can see already this is Commander Class Rodimus Prime from the War for Cybertron range. You can see how he sizes up there, and then we'll also pop in, I knew that was going to happen, we'll also pop in Commander Class Optimus Prime from Studio Series 86. So we'll put those 3 together there, and you can see exactly how they scale. So Death's Head is coming out better from a size point of view, if taller equates to better, than Optimus, Commander Class Optimus and Commander Class Rodimus. Not hugely. I think the horns give it to him. So if you were comparing him to a Transformers figure, I would say this looks like it's one of the smaller Commander classes. And I say that because these 2 in particular are Commander classes, but they're Commander class level and status is contributed to by the rest of their packaging, i.e. the trailers and the pieces and the parts and the so on and so forth. So I think he is, broadly speaking, a mid to smaller size commander class, maybe a leader class, given that he doesn't have much in way of too many additional accessories. But I thought it might be nice just to see him against these two key Autobots, particularly given that certainly from a comic point of view, he did interact with Rodimus Prime, much as he did with Galvatron and some of those post-86 movie figures. So I thought that might be quite a nice look, just so that you can have a real sense of how he scales. Particularly given, I think there's quite a memorable, I'll dig it out and probably put it in the end of this video, but there's quite a memorable Transformers comics cover, certainly in the UK, where Death's Head and Rodimus are having a bit of a tussle. So I might see if I can dig that out and just put it in the mix. But yeah, so that is how Death's Head squares with Rodimus and with Optimus. But I really think this is a terrific figure. It was a US import. I got it from Props and Replicas. I normally get a lot of my imports from In Demand Toys, but they didn't have any available when I was searching this. I think it's become available latterly, but it didn't seem to be available when I was looking. So I ended up going to a different online retailer. But as I say, Props Replicas is who I got it from. But they did take quite a while, and it's not their fault, because it was how long it took for it to arrive. But I don't know about you, but sometimes I can get a little bit edgy with online purchases that don't seem to arrive, and then you get sort of radio silence about when you can expect them. But it did come in. It came in just before Christmas 2024. But it wasn't for someone else. It was a Christmas present for me, from me. But I really think that the head sculpture there is great. It really captures the look of Death's Head. I mean, I think it might be nice if I would probably have liked an articulated jaw where we could have seen a bit more of that mouth. But I think the paintwork, I think the colorization all over is really good. It's got something X-Men-y about that belt. I can't quite place it, but it just feels a bit X-Men-y. But the articulation is good. The musculature is good. It is really evocative of the character as I remember him in the comic books. And as I say, I'll try and dig out at least one cover to include in the sort of montage at the end of the video. But I'm really glad that I've picked this figure up. What about you? Does Death's Head hold a place in your heart? Did you see him in the comics back in the day? Do you know who he is? Do you know more about him than I do? Quite possibly, because I think he got his own comic at one point and I didn't pick that up. I didn't engage with that. I think that may have been at a point just as I was moving out of my initial collect phase and moving into slightly different interests until I regained my senses. But do let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if this is a figure you've picked up. Do you like it? Am I right about the storage feature? Because I can't find any instructions in the box, on the box, or around the box. But I have to say, I think the colours on this thing really pop. I think it's an absolutely wonderful figure. So I'm very pleased to have it. And I think when I get down to doing some more toy photography in the new year, he's going to be very prominent in some of my Transformers shoots, especially if I do try and recapture some of that 1980s goodness from the Marvel comics. Anyway, thank you for staying with me for the last 11 or 12 minutes. You've been a fantastic audience. I've been the Triple TC, that's the Time Travelling Toy Collector, and it just remains for me to say that a thing of beauty really is a toy forever. You take care, and I hope to see you in a future, or indeed a past video, really soon. Bye-bye for now.